Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about taxes for traveling gig workers. So when you are a gig worker, you have a lot more freedom than some of us really give credit to be honest. We can work when we want, how we want, and wherever we want under certain limitations. Some gigs lock you into an area like Grubhub or Walmart Spark, but then there are apps like Instacart, Doordash, Uber, where you can pretty much work from anywhere. However, there is an overarching concept that not a lot of people talk about in this area. How would the taxes work when working in multiple states? So in this video, we are talking about everything you must know about taxes for traveling gig workers, how it works on the most fundamental levels, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain and is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. Also, thank you to GigTax for verifying this information and making this video possible. Not all apps travel well. Let's acknowledge one of the points that I alluded to in the beginning of the video. Not all apps really promote the concept of traveling gig work. Sure, there are some that are all for it and can even use it as a selling point, but not all apps can be used in every state. Great example of this: Grubhub, Walmart Spark, Amazon Flex, Viho. All of those companies lock you into geographic locations and will either only send you orders from routes coming from that general area, and in some cases a single warehouse, and some will put you on such a low priority level it's hardly worth doing. Some apps are excellent and will even help you get into those areas. Doordash, Uber Eats, Uber, Instacart, Roadie. Doordash even uses it as a selling point to become a Doordash driver. Not to mention how we haven't even touched the online points of the gig economy yet. You know, those gigs that you really only need a laptop to function, or you only need a phone to function. Either way, do your research before doing gig work in some places or considering traveling for gig work. Different states, different taxes. As you can imagine, just like with every other part of the gig economy, everything we go over is market dependent. What applies to me in my market may not apply to you. I personally live in South Florida, which means strictly talking about the taxes I have to pay on a geographic level, I need to pay my federal income tax, and that's really it. There's no state income tax, and that saves big money for those of us earning a 1099 income. That said, in New York City, where they have a federal income tax, the state income tax of New York, which can range from 4% to 10.9% of your income, the city income tax, which can range from 4 to 5.5% of your income, and that changes the possibility and the actual expenses that come with the gig that you're doing. Not to mention the rules and regulations that change along the way. The point is that you are going to make more money in some states than you are going to be in others. So do some research on where you are going and finalize your plans before going there. Whether it's a road trip or you're just in the area, or your main job sent you there on business. Rules and regulations. With different states comes different rules and comes different mindsets on how to truly profit from gig work. Going back to our example on NYC, there are a completely different set of rules from gig work than anywhere else. The same goes for California and same goes with Seattle. Their methods are completely different, and succeeding in their markets means different things than it would be where I live, especially with how their customers are, their tax laws, and how the companies operate the apps in those areas. Not to mention in NYC, it is more effective to use an e-bike everywhere than a car, and cars can never really find parking, which means standard mileage won't apply to your e-bike.
But Joe, aren't there other tax benefits that you could take advantage of in those areas?
I'm sure that there are some that I'm just not aware of, but that's my point. Do your research before making this kind of trip, especially since some of those states require you to file your income taxes after a single day's work. That is, if you earn enough income to be required to file a federal federal return as well. But remember, $600 is really all it takes. Not all markets are worth it. So DoorDash is considered a leading e-commerce delivery business or last mile logistics company. In a destination-based or interstate e-commerce transaction, the location where the customer takes possession of the product is the point of taxation. If anybody knows the Vancouver, Washington area, and you do a delivery from Vancouver to Portland, you might end up with a 1099 in Oregon if you're doing that too often. Same with New York to New Jersey, but with many more tolls and parking fees. Is that enough reason for you not to do it? I'm gonna leave that to your discretion. Do you have to file separately for each state? Some taxpayers find themselves filing taxes in multiple states when they live in one state and work in a neighboring state. If the states have a reciprocity agreement, which allows you to request a withholding exemption from your non-resident state. For DoorDash, they would usually send you a 1099 with that info on it if you made more than $600 in that state. That is also only true if both states have income taxes and no reciprocity agreement. If that is the case, you'll have to pay taxes on your earnings in both states. First, you would have to file a non-resident return for the state where you work. You'll need information from this return to properly file your return in your home state. Next, you would file a return for the state in which you live to prevent double taxing. The state where you live will usually give you a credit for the taxes paid for the non-resident state. Of course, with the complexities that come with taxes like this, especially involving state-to-state policies, you would definitely want to consult the right tax professional to make sure that you are remaining IRS compliant on a federal, state, and sometimes even city or county tax level, and that's where GigTax is here to help. As somebody who ventured into self-employment via food delivery apps, the income is promising. That said, you'll also be faced with challenges in navigating taxes as a self-employed person and transforming your gig into a sustainable business. GigTax was founded by Joseph Mayo, a seasoned gig worker with over 7,000 deliveries across 7 platforms since 2020. They understand the challenges of freelancers, rideshare drivers, couriers, and online sellers, and even gig workers of all kinds. Their #1 online tax preparation service is designed to help maximize your tax savings and save you time, energy, and money. Enjoy exclusive discounts on tax prep services as well as a range of benefits such as electronic filing, strategy sessions, year-round direct access to tax pros and financial partners, their client app and portal, the tax planning services, and quarterly tax reviews, all absolutely free and incredibly valued benefits when filing with GigTax. Book your free strategy session today at gigtaxservice.com/drivenwyld and enter the code WILD, all lowercase, to access your special offering. Let GigTax simplify, educate, and support you on your tax journey, whether you are a gig worker looking to make some extra money or becoming a successful entrepreneur leading into an incredible lifestyle. Visit GigTax using the link below and get started with saving the money you made and making even more along the way. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.